All right, we're rolling.
Okay.
And
So today,
From the Fernando and Freddy Show.
Why isn't my name first?
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Fernando and Freddy
Show
Reddit on Reddit.
on Reddit.
All right, you guys. So today we have a very important and serious topic to talk to you guys about, and it is voting. All right, so there are several things that. What? Why are you laughing?
Because I'm mocking you. I was pretending to know what the issues are. Like, oh yes.
What the issues are. All
Okay,
right,
go.
so
Read it.
first and foremost, what you really need to do is make sure that you're registered to vote. Plain and
True.
simple. Because you might think you're registered, but hey, maybe you're really not. So easiest thing to do.
Hold on. If you
What's that?
haven't voted in every single election, then you're not registered to vote. I think you can only miss one, and then if you mix the next one, then you're not registered.
Not technically.
In California.
No, that's not true. So
How much you want to bet? Because I
already
had
looked
this
this
problem
up.
already.
I already
Okay.
looked this up.
Then
So
tell us.
if you don't, if you're not consistently voting, then eventually you will be kicked out of the registrar system. But if you just missed one or two elections, you're still going to be registered to vote. But go to vote.com, or is it vote.org? It's vote.org, not vote.com. I said that wrong. It's go to vote.org and check it out and see. Super, super easy to do. You just go in and what was it? What did it say?
Okay. It said if you haven't voted in the last 4 years, you would have to register to vote again.
Right.
So basically, if you missed 2, because it's every 2 years. So I was right.
So you go in and then you click on check registration. You're going to enter your name, your address, your date of birth, and your email. It gets tricky because you got to have your address exactly how it appears. And it might come back like inclusive or there's like no results. So you might have to kind of modify it a little bit and you might have to like change it around, check your, address. Maybe if you have 2 addresses or, maybe your name doesn't appear exactly as it does on your voter registration information. So you might have to change it around a little bit. But if for some reason you're too lazy or, you aren't registered or anything like that, even if you are registered, it doesn't hurt if you register again. So you just go in and you click register. It takes 2 minutes. You need your driver's license number and the last 4 of your social security. Super, super quick. You just fill out the information. You submit it. Bam. You're registered to vote. Then
hold on. If you're like me and you're an overseas voter, then it can be just as tricky, if not trickier, because sometimes the format isn't set obviously to overseas, so you have to have your last address that you were registered to vote in, and then depending on where you live in the country, the rules aren't always the same. Some states will let you vote in a state election and some won't, so or some things will only let you do the federal level and not the local level or the city. So it can be kind of tricky there. So you have to double check. And not always will they give you the right information when you call, because I once had a lady who told me last time when I was having a problem that she wasn't even sure if I could vote. And I was like, who are you? Like, why are you answering the phone if you don't know what the laws are or the rules?
volunteer.
Yeah. But like really insistent on that she didn't believe I had the right to vote. So I had to be like, okay, it's time for me to speak to your supervisor because you should not be answering the phones. Yeah.
So
Number 2.
vote.org. Check your status. See if you're registered to vote. If you're not, or if you're too lazy to check, just go in, register to vote. But go back a couple of days later, a week later, and verify that you're registered. So if you go in there and you try to look, oh, I can't find myself. Okay, I register. And you're like, I'm good to go. I'm good to vote. But if you didn't check again for some reason, what if it didn't go through? There's so many people registering right now. What if the system glitched? You never know. So just go through. So another thing that you might have a problem with is a lot of people might have like a post office box or a PMB. You can't use that address. It has to actually be your physical address. So, if you registered at this, vote at your post box, or like I have a little mail annex, for example, where I go and I have all my stuff sent to. You can't use that address. You have to use your actual physical home address. So, once you have everything registered, verify it, and once it's all verified, everything comes back. If you have a problem on vote.org, you can go directly to your state's website. Go directly to your state's website and just check the information there. Vote.org will link you to it. So if for some reason their systems aren't working, boom, go right over to your state's website and verify it there. Now, keep in mind, you guys, that so many people this year are going to be voting by mail. It's just a crazy amount of people that are going to be voting by mail. Now, yes, you can still go into a traditional polling place to vote, but keep in mind, when you go to a polling place, who do you typically see? Who do you normally see working at a polling place, Freddie? Let's see if
Old people.
old people, old people. They're volunteers, and it's a lot of old people. I was hoping he was going to get that right because we didn't discuss this first. But
Well,
this year,
if you
go
voted,
ahead.
you should know. When have you
This
ever seen
year-
young people?
um, this year it's scary because with the coronavirus affects the elderly and people at higher risk. Well, are these old people going to be volunteering? I really wonder how this vote in person thing is going to go, because if there's no volunteers to run a polling place, how will a polling place even exist? You know? So I'm thinking that a lot more people are going to be voting by mail just because, one, the coronavirus, two, people aren't going to be wanting to go out, three, they're not going to be wanting to go near other people, they're not going to be wanting to touch these things. So mail.
Well, aren't there two states that are already? I think it's Oregon. Is it Oregon that's only mail vote by mail?
I don't know.
But I think we probably should do that for everything, or it should be
Vote by
like
mail?
these European countries that you get to do it by text.
Interesting.
Like you have your official, like I think basically what they use is like their version of a social security number, and then they have a secret code, and then they can vote, and then they also get a confirmation. And
That's
so,
interesting.
if they hit the wrong button, they have, I think, like a few minutes or whatever, or I don't know if it's
if
a
you hit the
day
wrong
to,
button.
well, because sometimes your fingers are fat and the numbers are small, or this whatever, for your screen might be broken, so it might glitch. But yeah, so you can go back and change it. I mean, I think that in this modern day and age, that's how it should be, because maybe that would get more people to vote.
Yeah. But
And you couldn't really do fraud because you would literally need a secret code and your social security number, which, I mean, that's a long number for someone else to have. Plus, your secret code is your secret code.
Oh, that's true. Huh. Maybe that's something that we could look at in the future. But as of right now, we are doing mail by vote. Mail by vote.
Vote by
mail. So, about a month before the election, 29 days before the election, you should be receiving all of your information, your ballot, your little pamphlet. Read through it, and choose who you want to vote for. But
unless you're overseas, you get it 2 months in advance, if not 3.
Oh, they mail it to you?
Yeah.
Still overseas?
Well, yeah, I requested it to be mailed because here's the thing. The paper that they print it on is A5 paper. If you're in the US, you have A3 paper. Your printer probably won't even take A5 paper, which is crazy because in Europe they use A4 paper. So it's a longer paper. So if your paper, so let's say you print it out and you're like, okay, I'm just going to print out normal paper and then I'll just scan it and email it back. If you, or fax it back, most of them, I think, I don't even know. No, I don't think you can scan it back. I think I had to fax it back. And I had to call, and she said, because you called, I can accept it. Had you not called, I wouldn't be able to accept it because it's not properly formatted or anything. Like I had to call and make sure she had every single page that I faxed back to them. And I mean, that was just crazy to me. And after that, I said, never again will I print my own ballot. I want one mailed to me for that very reason of, had I not called, had I just been like, okay, I sent it, I got my confirmation back, they wouldn't have accepted it. So
Interesting.
that's really important to know. It's A5 paper, so unless you have an A5 printer, good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So, what was I going to tell you? Oh,
About mailing your
okay.
vote.
About mailing your votes. So, I mean, usually we have a date, right? So that date, people are like, okay, well, that's, election day, right? But it's not the same with a mail in ballot because you have delivery time. So technically, if you have your ballot postmarked by election day and it's received within 17 days, it technically will be counted. But why wait? Why not get it done early and send it in?
Let's just take the obvious. The post office is currently being gutted. So you have to mail it in
Right.
advance because they're taking away post boxes and sorting machines and they're just trying to make it all sorts of complicated. Like we're in some weird country where that thing is normal and that's not normal for us. And that's what our fundamental rights is, voting, democracy. So
Right.
yeah, sad day right now.
So right, but that is something that I did want to mention too was the dismantling of the post office, and I mean this is probably a whole other story that we can cover, but
Yeah.
if you weren't aware, uh, the the president kind of changed a couple of things,
Not
and
kind of purposely change things and put someone who did not work in or have a history of working in that kind of environment as postmaster general.
uh,
State the facts.
he didn't actually personally assign him to that position though, did he?
Yeah, he did. He nominates the people and then it goes by Congress, and he did. Apparently he wasn't contested. Well, they raised flags, like they were like, we don't think this is right, but they didn't think he was going to do what he did. But now he's done it. He started to gut it like it's a business in bankruptcy, and
So
it's not a business.
when we say he, we're talking about Louis DeJoy, who is the new Postmaster General, who has no business being the Postmaster General,
Nope.
who has no idea what he's doing, and
Nope.
he is really changing a lot of different things. One of the major big things that he did was typically election mail was treated as first class mail, like top priority mail, right? Um,
Which it should be.
it now has been changed to essentially the same type of mail as bulk rate mail, like the coupons and
Yeah,
those
the
things
junk
that
things
get
people
delivered.
throw away.
Right. Meaning that if your election mail doesn't get delivered to you, it's going to get tossed. And with other things that are going on in the post office, like $1 million sorting machines being taken out, disposed of, dismantled, thrown in the trash,
I don't understand why.
it's now to slow the process. If instead
Yeah.
of putting these things in these machines that are going to sort them, in minutes, now people have to go do this, it's going to take days. So
If
that
not
was a huge
weeks.
one.
Because I
Right.
was just thinking of like in LA alone. Can you imagine?
Going through all of these things.
Yeah, I
I
mean, but just like the millions of people that live there and the pieces of mail that go through there.
Right. I think it'd be really cool like to tour the post office and just kind of see like how all these processes work and how, you know,
Illegal.
illegal to see it.
Yeah, no, you can't. I already tried before when I was a kid. No, I really
But I
thought it
think
was
that'd be
cool
really
because
cool.
they had those machines that like scan the thing and it like shoots it into like the different slots. I saw a whole
Yeah.
special on it. I remember like on PBS or something, and I remember my neighbor. He was a postman, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Can I come?" And they're like, "No, because it's literally like no, because they have like people's checks and privacy there. I mean, you literally could steal it if you're taking a tour. You could be like,
I guess
yoink."
that's true, huh?
Yeah, I guess you literally could. I mean, can you imagine? Like, you'd have access to credit cards, private information. You'd have, no, never gonna
Yeah.
happen.
So I don't know. We're gonna have to see how all this, pans out. But like you were saying
Yeah.
too, though, big thing, post boxes being removed. That was a huge deal in Montana where they had trucks driving around picking up these, standard blue corner post boxes that have been there for, years and years and years. And all of a sudden, these, trucks are coming in just picking them up. And one of the big ones that was
Hold
taken,
on. I was going to say, if you remember, you can always give your mail to the mail carrier or put it in your mailbox with the little red flag up so that they take the mail. That's what we used to
Right.
do as kids. So
Yeah.
don't be
But
like,
you
oh
know
no, I'm
what?
not going to mail. Mhm. You
But
can't do it in
sometimes
an
the mail
apartment.
carrier, sometimes the
Oh
mail
no, you can't.
carrier, yeah, they have that little outbox,
Yeah,
but
I
I don't
was
know.
thinking that. I used
But
it
sometimes
before.
like mail carriers, like they'll give you like a little bit of attitude. Like if you try to give them like mail. I remember one time I tried to give a mail carrier a piece of mail, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm deliveries only." Now I
Huh?
don't know if he was like a special delivery person who was just like out making special deliveries or what, but
Was he the one
I'll
that
never
walks
forget
with
that.
the basket, or was he in a car?
He was just sitting in his like little mail truck, but like he hasn't gotten out yet.
Well,
But
that's
this was
weird.
years ago. Like, I mean, this was probably like I was in high
Yeah.
school, and I just, will never forget that experience. But,
Hmm.
um, so one of the big deals in Montana was that this post box was in front of like a senior community, a senior living community, where it was just filled with old people, and these people walk outside, put their ballot in the mailbox, and go back in, but or their mail or whatever it is, but they picked it up and they took it away. So these old people, they're not going to go out walking around trying to find another mailbox, especially with the coronavirus. So they're just going to rely on hopefully somebody else taking it to the post office or to a box and mailing it for them. But
Well, hopefully they have that outgoing box. But I mean, it it kind of, when you think about it, most old, well, not most, it can either hurt them or help them. I mean, it can go both ways because depending on where you are, I mean, I wonder if they, because when they do gerrymandering, I wonder if they use that same list to remove post office boxes and things like that from areas where they felt like they were going to weaken their chances. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
so, so like if it's like if let's say it's a liberal area and they want to win an election in that area to be conservative, what if they remove the things from those areas that were with their little gerrymandering thing map to find out where they should remove things and leave things? Someone should look into that. I know. I need to
Let's
get
write a letter.
my little press hat that says press on it and start reporting and investigating
Press.
that, because that would actually be a really good story to find out if those gerrymandering maps were actually used to remove, post office supplies and, machines.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to look into this a little bit more. But you guys don't forget, check the date, find out when find out when your election date is. Google it, look it up. What is
Yeah.
going on with my computer over here? Um, then make sure that you're registered to vote. Vote.org.
Yeah.
Um, as you
It's an
can see, I'm
important
giving you guys a
election.
little bit of homework. I want you to go open up Google, look up when the election date is. Don't say it, Freddie. Do not tell them. Make them go do their homework. Then, after you find out when that election date is, go to vote.org. Make sure you're registered to vote. If not, register to vote. You don't even have to pick a political party. Just register to vote. Get your stuff in the mail. Make sure you sign the envelope. This is the most important thing. Sign the envelope. If you don't sign it, um, what? It's not going to count. Why isn't this
Nope.
working?
They'll send it back to you.
Um, as I'm taking forever to do this, but sign the
Sign the
envelope.
envelope.
So solar.
With solar power?
Yes. So election date, register to vote, sign the envelope when you mail it in, and track it. So this is another really big,
True.
really cool thing that is pretty new. Is that you can actually track your ballot. So
Yeah.
you type your state. So for me, it'd be California. So it'd be ca.ballotrex.net. BALLOTTRAX.net. And you can easily just track your vote. Track your ballot. So that'll make sure that it's actually received. So I don't know if you can sign up for text alerts or anything like that, but you guys, it's really important. Make sure that you register and that you follow through. Thanks for watching. This has been another episode of
Of
the
Reddit
Fernando and
on,
Freddy show.
or sorry, Fernando and Freddy show. Oops.
From the Fernando and Freddy Show.
Why isn't my name first?